Welcome back to the Stovetop. In this Cocktails with Squib video, I'm going to review a Michigan wine that I've never had before. I sort of found this wine by mistake. I was doing some grocery shopping at our local Meijer grocery store and just sort of came across it. Now, a little bit about our Meijer grocery stores. They're only in about 4 states, so there may be those of you out there who have never been to one. Most of them have a fairly big alcohol section in the store. And they offer a lot of different products: beer, wine, hard liquor, and things to go in cocktails like simple syrup or grenadine, club soda, cocktail cherries, obviously, things like that, and they're all together in a section. The wine is usually separated by type, so you've got an aisle or section for Chardonnay, an aisle or section for sweet red, an aisle or section for Bordeaux, etc., etc. And there's usually a section in the store where there are Michigan wines. I've been to Meijer grocery stores in Ohio, and they have a separate section for Ohio wines. But I've never seen these wines in with the other Michigan wines I would normally buy. They were on an end cap, and that's sort of what caught my attention. I was simply walking down the main aisle, and I noticed the outline of the Great Lakes. So I grabbed a bottle. A few weeks later on another trip, I grabbed another bottle. And when I got it home, I compared them, and I realized that they were made with different fruits. So on a later trip, I went to Meijer's and looked to see if they had, how many different varieties they had, and I found a third one. Now, I didn't do a lot of preparation before this video like a lot of my other videos, and I did look up online to verify that there are only 3 of these wines in this particular brand. So I'm going to be trying out all of them for the first time on this video. So let me give you a little bit of information about these wines. They're called Unsalted, and if you notice, each of the labels here has a different color, denoting what kind of fruit it's made with. They are made in Michigan by Sea Salt Cellars out of Fenville, Michigan, with 100% Michigan fruit, and they're all 12% alcohol by volume. Something I wasn't able to verify doing my research is that Sea Salt Cellars is either owned by, or this wine is distributed by, Boutique Bev out of Wilmington, North Carolina, and I'll include links to both in the description section. So this wine here is their Unsalted Cherry, and it's made with Balaton cherries, whatever those are. This is the Unsalted Concord, which I believe now is their Unsalted Sweet Red made with 100% Concord grapes. And this is the Unsalted Blueberry. Now, I'm going to be trying all of these out at room temperature. I typically drink my wine at room temperature, or at least I'll store it and open it up at room temperature. Typically, I would let wine breathe for 45 minutes before having it, but I'm not going to do that for this video. Whatever I don't finish, I'll simply seal off the bottle and put it in the refrigerator. You can drink wine at room temperature or chilled. It really doesn't matter. It's personal preference. So I'm going to start with the Concord. Now, I typically keep at least 1 bottle of Concord grape wine in with all of my wines. I've got kind of a little wine cellar thing downstairs, and I keep different kinds of wines for different events, different occasions, for pairing with different meals, that sort of thing. And it's always good to have at least 1 bottle of this or 1 bottle of that, just in case. And Concord is, it's kind of a really sweet taste, but it's not the sweetest wine that's out there, but it's something that I like to keep on hand. Yeah, it smells like grape jelly. A little bit fizzy. A little bit fizzy. I mean, you don't see any carbonation here, but it's kind of the way it tastes. It tastes like the St. Julian Concord or some of the other Concords that I've had before. I believe I've had one out of Ohio before. So it's sweet, but it's not overly sweet. If you like grape jelly, you'll like this wine. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. To cleanse the palate in between, I'm going to go ahead and do a shot of Verse Gin. This is from Traverse City Whiskey Company. This is made right here in Michigan. And this gin kind of has a different taste to it. It kind of has a little bit of a lavender taste to it. Some people may not like it at all. I'm really not much of a gin person, but I actually do like this, and it's definitely a way different taste than wine, so this should cleanse the palate. Yeah, a little lavender and a little bit of spice. The juniper, cherry bark, cedar wood, and juniper. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and try the cherry next. And what I like is that these have got the twist off caps. I know some people may not like these. They want the cork. They kind of consider this a little bit lower quality, but it makes it a lot easier to seal back up. I do recommend that if you like drinking wine, or you're trying to get into wine, get some stoppers, get some decent stoppers for your bottles that use corks. It's a lot easier to remove and that sort of thing. And when you store it in the refrigerator, it's gonna be helpful. So go ahead and pour some of this cherry. Now the cherry, that's got some fizz to it. That's got some fizz to it, more so than the Concord. And it's is it a little bit darker? They're almost the same shade. It looked a little bit lighter pouring it, and it might just be the position here on the stove with the light coming in from the side. But let me smell it. Okay, this isn't going to sound too good, but to me, it smells like rotting fruit, and that's not very appealing. Now, I don't get that smell with it in front of my face. I've actually got to stick my nose in the glass and smell it, but that's my description of it. Let's go ahead and try this out. Now, it doesn't taste like it smells. This has got to be something about these Belaton cherries. It's not like some other cherry wines I've had. It is a little bit thick, kind of like the Concord. It's a little bit thick, not like a port wine or something, but it's a little bit thick. It's a little bit heavy. It's tart. It's more tart in the middle, really. Let me take another sip here. Yeah, you get the fizz on the front and kind of a tart in the middle and towards the back of it. It's not bad. I think this would be better maybe paired with a meal as opposed to just stand alone maybe. That might help bring out some of the taste in it. So, let me cleanse the palate again here with a little bit of gin. That's plenty. Okay, and the last wine here is the blueberry. Now, I've had some blueberry wines before, and blueberry wine is probably something that a lot of people may not like because of how tart it is, but I tend to like blueberry wines. Some of the ones that I've seen are a little bit pricey compared to wine made with other fruit in the same kind of, I guess you would call it, category or region or something. But I'm a fan of blueberry wine. So let's see how this smells. It doesn't smell as good as some of the other blueberry wines. It smells better than a cherry wine. Let's go ahead and try it out. I'm getting fizz on the front end of this as well. It's not bad. I'm getting the tartness really on the back end, and it's kind of slowly coming out on my taste buds after I swallow the wine. This is not bad blueberry wine, but I'm not going to say it's as good as some of the other blueberry wines I've had in the past. It's not as tart, I will say that. If you don't really care for blueberry wine, you may actually like this one because it's a little bit fizzy and it's not as tart. Yeah, I would say that out of these three, The blueberry and cherry would probably go good with a meal if it's paired right. But the Concord, I would say you could drink with a meal or stand alone. That's just my opinion. I'm not a professional. For those that haven't been watching or didn't watch the intro video at the beginning of the playlist for this, this is amateur bartending. These are my opinions. I am not a professional. I'm not paid by any of these companies. I'm not promoting anything other than maybe Michigan products only because I live here, and there may be people that aren't aware that we have a very big fruit agriculture industry here, and we do make a lot of wines here. Just like when I travel to other states, I like to visit their wineries and buy some wine and bring it back here to Michigan, because there are lots of good wineries all over this country. You just have to know where to find them. Or have friends that live near them that can pick you up a couple bottles, and maybe you meet up somewhere. So, Unsalted from Sea Salt Cellars in Michigan. Maybe not available in your area. I didn't see anything online about being able to order this and have it shipped in. But if you happen to be passing through Ohio or Indiana, stop at a Meijer store. If you have some friends in the Great Lakes region, maybe have them pick you up a bottle, and if they're headed out your way, drop it off. Give it a try, with or without a meal. Thanks for watching.